Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be sharing how to remove acrylic nails from start to finish. So if you're interested in seeing how I do that, then definitely keep on watching this video. Okay guys, so for today's video I wanted to share a beginner's guide on removing acrylic nails. So this is where I am at with my current set. It's a disaster. I have been biting and picking and messing and testing things out. So yeah, I thought I would do a removal video for beginner nail techs, or if you're just doing your nails as a hobby. And I just wanted to cover, you know, all the basics of removing acrylics. We also have gel polish over the top here. I've got some little bits where I've been picking and it's just a disaster. And this one is a whole story in itself. I was tickling my little boy and my nails were maybe this long and it literally just went, and for ages it was absolutely fine, but then because it had that trauma, it started to separate from the nail about halfway up. So it has improved, it's grown all the way down, and I've just been trimming back as and when I needed to. So we're nearly grown out and I'll be able to put a nail back on there, but not this time. So yeah, we're going to do a beginner's removal of acrylics. If you are interested, then definitely keep watching and let's get straight into this process. Okay, so first up I'm going to come in with the tapered bit from my website, and I'll link all the products down below, so if you are interested you can definitely check them out. And I'm just going to switch on my drill to make sure that it's going at the correct speed, and I'm going to start off by just removing the gel to start with. So I'm just going to come in and make sure that you're removing all of that. And at this point as well, you can also take down the thickness and the bulk of the nail, and that way when you come to soak off in the acetone, it's just going to give you a little bit of a head start and you're not going to have to soak for too long. When you're using your e-file as well, you want to make sure that you're not kind of hovering in the same spot or in the same place for too long, because you will cause heat to build up and then it can be quite painful. I remember when I first started doing nails, I would like try and get a real big bulk down all at the same time, and I was like, oh, and it was super hot. So definitely bear that in mind. Keep working quick and fast. And not staying in the same spot, just to prevent that heat from building up. So once you've removed your gel polish, we've got a little bit of thickness there, and we also have the length. So for the length, you can do this one of two ways. You can either remove the bulk like this with your e-file. So I'm kind of coming in and focusing in one area but moving around as well, because like I said, we don't want that heat to build up. And as you can see, we've just kind of removed the bulk in one area. You then want to come in with your tip cutters. So let me just grab those. It would have helped if I had got everything set up. So we're going to come in with the tip cutters. And because we've thinned out this area, we don't really risk cracking up the nail. So you can simply come in with your tip cutters, and you want to make sure that the blade is on the opposite side to either you or your client. You're going to come in and simply just snip away. Super easy. And then that way you've removed all of that length. You're not having to soak that bit off, because that would just be a waste of time, a waste of product and all of that jazz. So I'm going to go ahead and continue just removing the length of the rest of the nails. I'll show you another way as well how to remove the length on this one, just with the e-file going straight across. So let's do that now. So first off, I'll start by removing the polish. And when you come around the cuticle area, because this is a safety bit, as you can see I can touch that and it's not going to cut me or anything like that. So you can get right in there and just remove the product from the cuticle without worrying that it's going to cut you. Of course, as I said, don't hover in one spot because you will get a build-up of the heat. And do not use an e-file bit like this on the natural nail. It's just for enhancements only. So now we have removed that polish, we're just going to go ahead and I'm resting my finger on here just to keep myself stable and to make sure that everything is going to go smoothly. You don't want to kind of try and do it like this because you'll end up going round the nail, or you've just not got as much control. So you want to make sure that you are anchored onto something. And then, here we go. I'm trying to get you the right angle so you guys can see what I'm doing. So let me just make sure you guys can see. As you can see, it will just slowly chop through the end of the tip. And you want to hold it quite firm. I prefer to go across like this. I know that some texts just go straight down. I don't know why, I've always just preferred to go across like this in short kind of bursts rather than one full tip. So that's another way of trimming down that nail. And then again, we have quite a bit of bulk. We don't want to sit soaking all of that. So you're going to come in with your e-file and just remove the bulk off there as well. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and do all of these nails, just remove the length on them, the polish and the bulk, and then I'll be back to show you the next step on my beginner's removal guide. Okay, so this is the one where I'm going to remove the bulk just by going back and forth with that e-file, but making sure to lift it up off the nail at certain intervals so that it doesn't create a heat spike. Sorry guys, it's not staying in focus there, but hopefully you guys saw that. So yeah, can you see how we've caused this area to become thin? And then that way when we come in, you could just continue with your e-file bit until that bit snaps, but I prefer to go ahead with the tip cutters and just come in and remove the excess. So yeah, we're ready for the next bit in a sec. I'm just going to remove the bulk on these and then we're ready to soak. When I'm doing my right hand using my non-dominant hand, I tend to just hold my e-file bit, and as you can see, I've just gone ahead and debulked the tip so I can snip it with the tip cutters. How I do that is I just come in and I steady my hand and rotate. So I don't actually move the e-file. And then there we have it. I could probably... just really weakens that area, and then we can come in with the cutters. If you didn't have an e-file at this point, what you would do is just file using a hand file and thin them out as much as you possibly can. I wouldn't recommend on using the tip cutter when they are at the full thickness, because you do run the risk of cracking all the way up that enhancement, and that can cause damage to the natural nail. So definitely do remove some of that thickness before using the tip cutters. Of the product, I'm just going to come in with my hand file and I'm simply just going to shape that free edge. Nothing too kind of perfect or serious. I just want to remove kind of the jagged bits, because I prefer to do that before I've soaked off the rest of the product, just because natural nails after having enhancements on, whether it be gel polish, acrylics or hard gel, can be a little on the softer side just until they've hardened up again. But I just like to shape the free edge prior to removing that extra product that's on the nail still. So I'm going to come in with your file and just do that. And I am going to go ahead and sculpt a set. So we're going to shape these so that we can apply a form. Also as well, at the point of shortening the enhancements or your nails, like from the length, if you haven't got an e-file, you can simply just come in with your hand file and just rock away with it. You know, it will take a little bit longer, but the process is worth it. Definitely don't be biting off your nails because you can cause a lot of damage that way. So this is where we're at. We've barely got any product on there. I haven't finished filing these sides yet. But yeah, this is where we're at, and we're going to go ahead now and just get our soaking bowl ready with some pure acetone. A regular soak off bowl, you can just use a dish. I just used a regular dish for so long, and then I decided to grab one of these, and I'm just popping my acetone into the bowl, and then you just want to take your hand and submerge them, and you just want to keep them submerged for around 5 to 10 minutes, and you will just see that your product is going to start dissolving and melting away. And I will update you. I'm just going to sit here for a little while, and before I take my hand out, I will pop you guys back on so you can see where we are at with the soak off process, and I'll let you know how long it's been as well. So because we have removed most of the product, we aren't going to need to soak for a long time. I know prior to removing the bulk of the product, you could sit and soak for at least like 30 minutes, which is super, super long. One, to be in the acetone because it's super drying, but two, it's just a long time for a service and appointment that you don't charge too much for either, like if you're doing it for a client. So yeah, it's definitely a more faster and efficient way to remove that bulk and then soak for less time. So like I said, I will be back in a moment once it's been about 5 minutes. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes exactly, and I'm just going to go ahead and share with you guys where we are up to with the soak off process. So as you can see, the acrylic product has started to kind of do this bubbly dissolving, melting kind of thing, and it looks slightly crazy but this is a good look. This is what we are looking for. So you can see that the product is starting to dissolve and remove from the nail. So at this point, I'm going to come in with my hand file. Let me just grab my scraper as well. So we also have a tool here, and we have this available on the website, and this, look at this, it is fabulous. I love using it for scraping off the excess product. You can also use your hand file as well, but honestly this is more satisfying. So yeah, I'm using it's called the gel scraper, but you can obviously scrape off acrylic or polygel, whatever you are removing. It will do the job. So I'm just going ahead and scraping off the layer that has dissolved. Yeah, so once I've done that, I'm going to pop them into the dish and soak for a further 5 minutes, and then that probably should be enough. So I'm going back in, and I'll be back in 5. So it's almost been another 5 minutes, but I just wanted to let you know as well, as we have our hands soaking, the acetone is going to warm up a little bit more, which makes it work faster. So initially on the first kind of round of soaking, it was on the cooler side, which is why it wasn't super duper effective. Even though it was still effective, it's still going to have an effect on the product, of course. But because it is a little bit warmer now, it's going to react much better with removing that product. Another tip as well that you can do is get a nice bowl of warm water or kind of hot water. Of course, be careful with it, you don't want to burn yourself, and you can just place the soaking bowl into that, and that can speed up the process as well. So let's take this out and scrape away the excess. So look at that. Fabulous. I just love the way that Nailmate acrylic soaks off. It is super duper easy. No fussing about. It's just fabulous. I definitely should have got myself a paper towel though to wipe off the extra product off my little tool. Look how satisfying that is. That is super satisfying, scraping away that product. Okay, so now I've scraped off that excess. We can see quite a bit still on the nail. I'm just going to come in with my hand file, and I definitely forgot to do the thumb, so I'm just going to quickly do that. Right, so I'm going to come in with my hand file, and this is just going to help really remove that product further. We don't want to be going onto the natural nail with this at the minute because it'd be hard for us to see where we're at. So we're just kind of moving that product that we've soaked out of the way. You can kind of feel that you can feel that you are filing product. So once you feel it hit your natural nail, you need to stop. But we're just kind of revealing that area and seeing how much more soaking might be needed, or if we can get away with just removing it with a hand file. And because we've been soaking in the acetone, the product is quite soft as well, so it removes super easy with the hand file. And of course we've removed most of it with the scraping tool. As you can see, we still have product here. And they look super messy at the minute, but I promise you these will be beautiful by the time we've finished. It's just all the acetone and the product obviously dissolving and sticking where it shouldn't be that looks a little bit crazy basically. So I'm just going to continue to do that just to get rid of that extra product that's stuck everywhere. File the free edge. And there's quite a lot left on my thumb, so I'm probably going to dunk that back in and just give it another soak. I'm just going to come in and just use my nippers. I've got some bits of skin here which I've been picking, so if you have anything like that, you definitely want to come in and just trim that away, because if you're anything like me, if I can feel anything like that, I just start picking and messing, so I definitely always have to get rid of that. I'm just going to use a buffing block and lightly buff my nails, and this is just going to remove those scratches or anything out of the nail. And then I'm going to come in with, I'm going to come in with my cuticle oil. I'm going to go and wash my hands first just to get rid of that dust and excess product that is still going to be on your hands, because you don't want to leave the acetone or any of the product that's been removed on your skin, because you can create allergies, because then it's going to sit on your skin all night if you don't wash your hands So yeah, I'm going to go and wash my hands. Already applied some of the oil after washing my hands. You just want to apply that to all of your nails and really massage in. You want to really replenish that oil and moisturize those cuticles, the skin around your nails, and just get everything super hydrated. And that is it. So that's how I remove my acrylic nails. If I was to apply a set now onto these, I would definitely go ahead and wash my hands again, just get rid of that oil. But I tend to just let it sit for a minute. I even put a nice thick moisturizer on and just allow that to sit and let my nails just, you know, just suck in some of that goodness and moisture. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, then give it a thumbs up. And if there's anything else you want me to go through, then let me know, because I'll be happy to go through that and share my tips and tricks and how I do things. My poorly nail, look at that one. I showed you this at the beginning. It should be hopefully grown out within the next 2 weeks, and I'll be able to put a nail on it. Hopefully not much longer. My super poorly nail. It's not as bad as it was. It was super painful at the time, but thankfully it's growing out nicely. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, share it, and yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have a fabulous evening or a fabulous day wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember, you are bomb.com and lit as fuck, and don't ever let anyone tell you any different, because you've got this and I love you. Bye.